And for more on the shooting, we're now joined by phone. Alex Rasmussen is joining us now. He was at the concert with his wife. Alex, give us an idea of where you were when the gunfire began, and what did you think initially?
Well, we were just in front of the stage, luckily to the far side of the stage, away from where the Mandalay Bay was. So we were probably only 50 feet from Jason Aldean's performance. We had been right up close to the stage for the previous show, kind of moved out of the crowd, went and got refreshments, came back into the crowd, and didn't go quite as deep for the last show. He was about 5 songs into the set when what it sounded like. It certainly sounded like gunshots, but I think everyone sort of thought that was just fireworks. That's when the first kind of set went off. The second time the shots rang out, security started grabbing the band, started running off the stage. The security came out and grabbed Jason Aldean and moved him up. And immediately when I saw that, I feel like a lot of the crowd still didn't know what was going on, and we immediately started moving towards the exits away from where the gunfire was coming.
Alex, I watched the video that was posted on Facebook. It's about 4 minutes of just absolute terror. You hear screaming, running. You can hear the sounds of what sounds like machine gun fire. I can't imagine what that was like. How would you describe it?
You know, chaos. If I had one word, it was chaos. But at the same time, we knew what we needed to do. We needed to get out of there. So we heard the gunshots. You heard it. You know, miraculously, my wife, once we had kind of gotten out of the venue or running down the street behind the venue, had pulled her phone out and started recording. And you could continue to hear the machine gun fire. And we had originally, when we fled, thought the gunman was inside of the park. You know, found out later he was perched, you know, up high across the street. But it sounded like multiple gunmen to me. I mean, it was one after the next of just heavy machine gun automatic rounds. You know, it sounded like coming right at us.
At one point, we hear somebody say, we need to pack our bags, get to the airport, and just get out of here. Talk to me about that terror. And you're back home. You're no longer in Las Vegas. So I imagine you couldn't wait to get out of there. I mean, what was that like?
Well, we immediately started formulating that plan because we were able to find a cab behind MGM who we talked into turning, you know, hey, there's an active shooter, let's get out of here. So he turned a U-turn, and in that moment, we felt safe at the point that we needed to start planning our exit from Las Vegas because the police scanners were talking about multiple gunmen, multiple hotels. There was a report of a bomb at New York, New York. We're hearing all of this in real time on the scanner inside the cab. And you know, our friends are texting me. You got all this stuff kind of coming at you. So we just wanted to get out of Vegas. We were staying on the north end of the Strip. We went and immediately packed our bags, went right back downstairs, and got in a cab and made it to the airport. As soon as I got Wi-Fi at the hotel, I booked a rental car because it didn't look like we were going to be able to get a sooner flight. So once we were in the rental car, we absolutely just got out of Vegas as fast as we could. We were planning on driving all night and all day and getting to Memphis, but kind of smarter heads prevailed. We realized we were only about 4.5 hours out of Phoenix, that we could make it there and book a flight out of Phoenix first thing in the morning. So we booked those flights and hightailed it to Phoenix overnight and got it. Because at that time, we thought Vegas was going to be a total terror scene. We didn't realize at the time that it was one shooter and that, you know, that they had eliminated the threat fairly quickly.
Alex, we're out of time, but I do have to ask, what is this music going to be like for you in the future? Will it be difficult for you to listen to this music now? I mean, you love country music, but when you hear these songs, is it going to bring back these terrible memories?
You know, I think the hardest part, I may be closer to the music than I've ever been before, but the hardest part is ever going to a show again. We see hundreds of shows a year. My wife and I travel around. It's kind of our thing to do together. Not sure that we'll be able to do that anytime soon. So that's probably, you know, that. And I think just the regret of, you know, now we know 500 people were injured and 50 people dead. And you know, we just hightailed it out. And we left